The final stop on our tour of the Fairways of the Valley courses brings us to Michigan's most popular travel destination, Frankenmuth, where you'll find Bronner's Christmas Wonderland, the Bavarian Inn, and Zender's Restaurant, as well as all sorts of other attractions here in Michigan's Little Bavaria. But did you know about the Fortress, the 18-hole championship layout that is certain not only to test your game, but to bring you back time and time again? We continue on our tour of the Fairways of the Valley. We have visited Apple Mountain, we have visited Mill, and both of those places, everybody says, we're glad to be a part of the group, we're glad that people come to play all three courses, but the standard bearer is the Fortress, and often described as the best manicured public course in the state. And you've been here since, oh, you helped design some of these holes.
Sure have. It's been a lot of fun, Bill. We were the first one of those courses that was built, so some of that, maybe they're just giving us the right due to the timing of the courses built, because they both do a great job in maintaining them also, and it makes it easy. It's a lot of fun when you can have three courses and they all go after it, and they go after the service and the conditions and stuff, and it makes it nice.
How do you picture all three of the courses, compare and contrast to Apple Mountain, Sawmill, and then here at the Fortress?
Well, Sawmill, they have more of a target-oriented with a little bit of a feel of northern Michigan. You go over to Apple Mountain, you get a lot of what we have here, but they use their ski hill too. There's some real cool holes where you either hit into or off from. The mountain areas there, and then you come over here and we feature golf with a lot of fescue. And fescue, if you're not familiar with it, is a taller grass waving that everyone says, why don't you cut that?
Yeah, we don't want to hit in there. The layout of this course is, it's got a championship feel to it, and indeed you've conducted a number of championships here at the Fortress, yet I think it's friendly for the casual player who's coming into Frankenmuth for whatever other reasons may be on his family's itinerary.
We had, it's funny you say that, when we built this, we were still in the stages of courses going hard as you can get them to play, smaller greens, and I approached it with let's get the greens bigger, and if it's over 400 yards in a hole, let's get where you can roll up on the green, which was very contrary to what was happening at the time. And the greens here average just about 9,000 square feet, which is incredibly large compared to what they used to even 10, 15 years ago. And we did one thing with the ladies, or the forward tees for those people who play those, is to try and make it where they can have fun too. And what we've seen through the years with doing that is our senior and lady play has been very high, and they enjoy it, which is fantastic.
So who's winning between the two of you?
Well, we're just out for a practice round anyway.
Practice
So
round
it's not really competitive today.
before the big tournament?
Before the big tournament Saturday and Sunday.
Okay.
The North American Lithuanian Open.
Is she being serious? I have no idea.
Absolutely, absolutely. We're competing against other Lithuanians from Chicago, Cleveland, Detroit. So the Torontonian women have to win this.
Is that event being held here?
Absolutely.
It is. It happens every 4 years, and we rotate between the four cities. And this is the second time we've come to the Fortress. We were here 4 years ago.
So you're serious? This is an
we're
actual
serious.
competition. I had no idea.
North American Lithuanian Open.
We are here with two contestants from the North American Lithuanian Open,
From Toronto.
Jasmine and Daria. They are here from Toronto, and I didn't believe that event actually was a real event until you told it to me a couple of times.
It is.
Players coming from where? From all over the world?
No.
Well, basically just Detroit, Toronto, Cleveland, and Chicago. We have some people come in from Los Angeles, some people from Boston, Rochester. I don't know where else.
All to come to play here at the Fortress.
Yep.
How often have you played here at the Fortress?
This is first time today, so friend told me about it, and I had my wife and daughter were up at Birch Run today, so that didn't sound like what I wanted to do, so I just came up to see if they had a spot, and away I went.
Your story makes them smile here in Frankenmuth, where the spouses go and shop, and you take advantage of that time to come out and play. Walk us through this course a little bit. Number one starts off with a reachable for some, but a certainly accessible par 5 to get you off on the right foot, and take us running from there.
Well, one is it is a reachable 5 with the links kind of style. When you stand on the tee, it looks like it's 19 miles
It
down
sure
to
does.
the green, but you can actually get there in 2. And The front 9 basically plays the interior of the course, with 2 and 4 being the 3 pars, and then you have your 5 pars on number 1 and 6. And when you get to 7, 8, and 9, there are 3 really challenging 4 pars that are from the back tees, 437, 410, and 455. You know, and from the middle tees, you can take about 15, 20 yards off those distances, but very challenging. And very true to a links course that you might see as you play the interior. Then the second 9, you go right to the exterior. So you play the whole perimeter of the property as you go, 10 through 18, with 10 through 13 being into the wind. And you know, when we get to 14, I always kid people and say, now you're playing towards the church because your prayers have been answered.
Yes.
You don't have to play in the wind anymore. And then you come sort of downwind to finish on the finishing holes. And really on the back, the 13th and 17th are very challenging. 13 is about 430 to 450 with water on each side, into the wind most of the time, and 17 is about 150 to 175 with a pond in front and the river over. Very picturesque, but very challenging. And I got a chance to design our 11th hole with the bunkers and stuff. And of course, our superintendent, Scott Watkins, has done a great job, but he always tells me, don't design too many holes because that's a lot of bunkers to maintain. So we have always said we want to really go after conditions and service and the experience for the guest. And condition-wise, we really focus on making sure it's just right. And that could be like this fescue grass that's around us right now. A lot of places wouldn't be doing anything just now, but we've already started to cut it down, to sweep up the dead grass, to treat the grass, to get the weeds and stuff out of it, and to get it prepped so it's ready to look perfect as we go into next year. And the golfers tend to really like that once that's down because they can find their ball a little easier. On the greens, for instance, people spend a lot of time there, so we try and make sure we hand walk as we cut the greens. We do a thing called verticutting, which is to get the grass to stand up perpendicular so it doesn't lay over and create any grain issues. We this year bought a speed roller. I call it a smooth roller because it helps to just level that surface out so it's just incredibly smooth, and it adds some pace to the greens.
Most of the time, a golfer from, let's say, a different part of the country, when they come to Michigan, they think that to have a 3-course bonanza like you do, that they've got to go quite a bit further up I-75. What would you say to them to convince them that the Fairways of the Valley means you don't have to drive any further north than Saginaw?
Well, depending on their time schedule, I'd say, hey, you can come here and have a ton of fun and play great golf courses, great condition, great service from all the staffs, and you have more opportunities for other things that are also going on, whether that be shopping or dining. And you take Frankenmuth as for instance, it's a very popular tourist attraction, which is something, if you're looking at a complete package that involves everything, including everything around golf, I'm not sure you could find a nicer spot.